we started recording. So today we'll see only these two, then remaining from storage we'll see tomorrow. I think some people are really busy. Okay. So what we discussed first, we discussed about a CPU, central processing unit, and what is the use of CPU and different CPU manufacturing, different specifications of CPU, what you see in the CPU, like speed, architecture, or push bit, 32-bit, 64-bit processor. So what RAM supporting information, cache memory, number of cores, number of threads of processor, virtualization technologies, there are not. Okay. So these things are a main specifications. Next, we discuss about a on CPU, what is the heat sink. What is meant by heat sink phase and fan. Purpose is to make your processor cool. Okay, means when the processor is getting heated, so if you leave like that, it is get overheated and it will burn. So what is this heat sink paste? On top of it, heat sink, and on top of that, there is a fan. So totally, it will try to make it your processor with a constant temperature, low temperature in it. So then CPU will function normally. Okay. So that is we discuss. And in case of this dust formation of the heat sink, improper installations or dust formations or heat is not escaping, you close all the here what we can say the holes in your laptop. You put your laptop on your bed or sofa, so on your lap. So what happened? The heat is not escaping, or dust formations, or improper installations causes heat won't escape, causing what happens? CPU is getting overheated. If CPU is getting overheated, system itself restart again and again. So when you see system is restarts again and again means CPU is getting overheated. So what you do? Open the cabinet, clean the heat sink. If it is dust formation is there, clean the heat sink, all these pins and heat sink fan, heat sink, clean it, or apply the heat sink paste if in case heat sink paste is got completely clean. So remove the water paste and apply the new paste. Again reconnect everything back. So it may issue will resolve. Next, we discussed about RAM and ROM. What is RAM and ROM? RAM and ROM are both are primary memories. Difference between RAM and ROM we discussed. RAM is temporary memory, ROM is permanent, volatile memory, non-volatile memory, differences also. Again, RAM, main memory, physical memory, it's a volatile memory. Different types of RAMs, SRAM, DRAM, DDR RAMs, also we discussed. Again, different RAM specifications like size, speed, models, voltage levels. Another important one is desktop RAM and laptop RAM. Desktop RAM and laptop RAM. So laptop RAM is so DIMM packages. Desktop is a DIMM package. Okay, next. RAM also any edge RAM edges got a dust formation or RAM slots or dust formation, RAM loose connectivities, RAM failure causes first failure. First failure means on your system, nothing on the screen, nothing on the screen. Okay. So you power on your system, power LED is blinking, but on the screen, it's only blank. So in that cases, it is possible that RAM is loose connected. Of course, there are so many other things also there, but that we will discuss later. Okay. So remove the RAM, clean the RAM, reinsert the RAM, cross verify the RAM. This is the what? If you are getting blank screen error. Next, we discussed about a ROM. ROM is a permanent memory type, means ROM, read-only memory. So different ROM types also there. So what we are using is EPROM, read-writable switch. So every ROM every ROM in the ROM there is a program called BIOS. Okay, there is a program inside this ROM, we call it as a BIOS. That's why this ROM chip we are also calling as a BIOS chip. This BIOS, the program is nothing but a firmware. The firmwares are simple programs help your system to power on and boot your system also. Okay, this BIOS, basic input output system, helps your system to boot, help your system perform post operations, power on self-test operations, helps your system. It will recognize your hardware device like a what CPU is inserted, what RAM is inserted, what hard disk is inserted, what graphic card is inserted. So it will, whenever you power on your system, that time only BIOS will recognize the devices. And BIOS provide a boot priority. Based on the boot priority, system checks for the operating system. Checks for the operating system device based on the boot priority. That's it is locate and load operating system. And it is also help your operating system. What are the devices are in your system? Like a components, hardware devices are there. It will tell to the operating system. Help your operating system to access that one. Different manufacturers of BIOS are there. AMI BIOS, Edward BIOS, Phoenix BIOS, different BIOS manufacturers also. Okay. Next, BIOS settings. What is this BIOS settings? Inside a BIOS, you have a hardware information. We can check that hardware configurations. We can change some hardware settings by going to BIOS settings. To go to the BIOS setting, when you are power on your system, it may shows the BIOS keys to enter into the BIOS settings. By pressing the BIOS key, you can go to the BIOS setting. Example, in a olden days and standard model, that is delete button. In keyboard, delete button. Power on your system, delete button. In some system, different combinations are there. F2, F10, F12, F11, like that, different BIOS keys are there. So depends upon your BIOS manufacturer or your system manufacturer. Okay. So what are the settings you can able to do changes kind of stuff? You can check date and time. You can change date and time, current running date and time. We can change it. You can check. You can set a password to protect your BIOS settings. So you can protect your BIOS settings from unauthorized user to access. That is BIOS setting. Okay. You can enable or disable certain hardware related features. Example, virtualization technologies. If you purchase your laptop almost like 4 years back, 5 years back, 10 years back, by default, this BIOS virtualization technology is not there, it is disabled inside. So you have to enable in your processor, in BIOS, you have to enable this virtualization technology in a older system. In current system, it is already enabled. So if you go to this task manager, click on performance, CPU, see virtualization is enabled. But in a some old system, little old system, virtualization technology is there, but it will be already in a disabled mode. So you can enable it by going to BIOS settings. You can change your boot priorities. Okay, as you can change your boot priority when you power on your system. System will load operating system from bootable device. So you can change the priority. So from checklist you are changing it. Okay. Also you check your hardware related config. Like you can check what CPU, RAM, hard disk is there inside of your system. So this is another screen like this is for date and time, CPU, cache memories, hard disk, DVD drive, and RAM information I can able to view. I can change this date and time also. I can change the hardware configuration, enabling, disabling certain hardware related configurations. This is virtualization technology enablement. I can set some boot password. Okay. So means BIOS password, I can set it. So the supervisor password, if you know the supervisor password, so you can change the settings. If you know the user password, you can view the setting. You don't know both the passwords, you can't do any changes. Okay, that's generally can say. But these BIOS passwords only for BIOS purpose only, not your operating system password, not your operating system password. This is boot priorities. So when you power on your system search for the operating system device. It will search for the operating system contained device based on this order only. If you change it based on that order, it will do it. For example, I put a hard drive in a top. First, it will check in the hard disk only. Then only it will check remaining. Okay. So first it is checking, like I have a bootable PenDrive is there. OS contained PenDrive is there. So attach it to my system. I power on my system. What my system will do? First it will check the OS in the CD-ROM. Not available. Then it will check in the removable device. Yes, it is available. It load it. It won't check the remaining one. Okay. In case I didn't have that one. I didn't have any PenDrive with the operating system. In a hard disk only I have OS. Then again it will check CD-ROM, removable device, then hard disk. It found in hard disk, it load it. In hard disk also OS is not there. It check in the network. Okay. If network also do not have an operating system, network wide OS system. Okay. Network wise also you can able to boot it. Through network, you can also install OS or boot your operating system. Okay. You can do that one separately. Okay. It is not also there, so then it is throw in error. Okay. So these are the different things. You can change your boot priorities. You can set BIOS passwords. You can change hardware configurations. You can change date and time. But all these are we are changing that stores temporarily. These are all information inside your BIOS chip is temporarily data. When you shut down your PC, all this temp data will be gone. These BIOS settings will go back to the factory default settings. It will load the default settings. How to protect it? We use a battery, lithium battery. It is 3 volts battery. Battery is giving a power supply to your BIOS chip. So even you shut down your PC, the battery is continuously giving a power supply to your BIOS chip. So it will keep your BIOS settings like that only. Okay. So that's the point. Okay. Remember guys, this CMOS battery, so we call this battery as a CMOS battery. The CMOS battery never store any data. CMOS battery never stores any data. Okay. In case you went to your organization or you meet some seniors, okay, experienced persons, they said CMOS battery contains CMOS settings. CMOS battery stores CMOS settings. Okay. If they said like that, don't argue with them. Still, lot of people are in that mode. CMOS battery contains some information inside. It's a battery. Battery means it will give a power supply. Simple logic, right? Not required computer technology. Battery is providing power supply. But if someone is trying to argue with you, your senior someone, don't teach them. Okay. It is very important surviving thing. Okay. I don't do that like that. I will argue with the people because I don't ever agree with the wrong. So this is what I'm trying to say is don't argue. So you know it. If you it's correct and that's correct. That's it. Don't argue with anybody with higher than yours. Okay, live like them. Okay. Some people are good people. Some people will learn. Okay. For them, also don't teach. Don't worry about it. You learn. Your learning is important, not anyone's, right? Don't require to make them understand or teaching is not required. Okay. Let's understand.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Last point. We learn, we'll keep it ourselves, we'll pass in our exam, we'll get keep on going. That's the important. Yeah. BIOS battery gives power supply to BIOS chip. Okay. So what are the settings? Date and time will keep on running. The date and time has to run. You power off your system, automatically date and time will be stopped. So what we have to do? Because of this battery supply, date and time is continuously runs. For example, yesterday evening you shut down your PC. Today morning you open it, but the date and time shows as per today's morning only, right? Not as yesterday where I shut down. Why? Because of the date and time keep on running. So how it can able to run? Because this is getting power supply continuously by battery. So this date and time continuously, this clock is running continuously. And remaining changes like password settings, hardware settings, you change it, priorities by boot priorities. Also, that settings will be keep alive. If in case you remove the battery, or maybe the battery is low power, no power. Okay, so what happened? It will show CMOS checksum error. You power on your system, you got CMOS checksum error means it's a battery is low power, no power, or maybe battery is removed and reinserted. But you are getting same issue repeatedly. You got this issue. What you will do? You go to F1 to set up, F2 to set up something like you go to BIOS setting. You'll change the settings. You change your date and time and passwords. Everything you will set it, and you work. Keep on working. Completed. That day you close, shut down. Next day you came to office. Again you open. Again CMOS checks come back. So every time you are getting this one, again CMOS cell. There is one possibility that is your CMOS batteries become weak, no power or low power. Okay. So what you have to do? Remove the battery, reinsert new battery. Okay. Go with the change your battery with a new battery. That's the point. Okay. So these are the three issues what we discussed, guys. If CPU is getting overheated, system restart itself to prevent CPU from damage. Meaning is why it is overheated. It is dust on the heatsink or heatsink fan. Heatsink is not installed properly. Heatsink paste not applied properly or cleaned. So that's why you're getting overheated. If RAM is failed, a loose connection, dust on the RAM edges, okay, RAM slots causes post failure. So you got a blank screen because of this one. CMOS battery, low power, no power. So it reset BIOS settings to the factory default. Show CMOS checksum bad. So you have to change the battery new. Okay. And yeah, this is just for a quick review, and we'll see this motherboard and SMPS. As said, this is the last. I feel I didn't explain this CMOS BIOS settings properly. That's why I explained again. Okay, I think you may get understand now. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
motherboard. So what is this motherboard? Is a circuit board. It contains lot of slots, sockets on the motherboard, both internally and externally. So what are the CPU sockets? You can go to any new type of motherboard. Yeah, you can see this is a CPU socket, RAM slots. This edge, you can see the black the last edge one. So this is a SMPS, SMPS. Okay, for connecting SMPS power supply 24 pin connector it is. These are two big, that's RAM slots, CPU slot. This one, this is for CPU separate SMPS power supply. separate 8-pin connector is there from CPU to motherboard. Okay, this is a graphic card. This shiny one is there, no? That is a graphic card. We will insert into this one. Beside there is one small part is there. No? This is for a SSD, NVMe M.2 SSD. That model you can directly insert here. Okay, maybe this is your BIOS chip, and this is your BIOS battery. And this is, if you see, it's a crab symbol is there. Mostly it is Realtek audio chip. So mostly Realtek audio chip is look like that one. This is PCI Express card inserting. Okay, some front panel connections. These are front panel connections. These ports are actually not showing in that direction. So these ports mostly it is hard disk, because I said no, it is not showing. Yeah, now it is showing here. This is for SATA hard disk connectors. 4 pins are there, SATA hard disk connectors. This is also maybe front panel connection related. And CPU fan connectors, CPU fan. This is CPU fan mostly. Other front panel connectors. Back panel connectors. Okay, C port. VGA port also given. PS/2 port is given. USB port is given. Okay, USB, PS/2, another USB, black one and as well as the blue one, 3 point and 2.0. Okay, RJ45 connector, again two USBs are given here. So three are there now. One is for mic, another is for speaker, another is line in. Okay, so these are different components. See, if you see on motherboard, some are sockets. Like this is no CPU here. So you have to remove this plastic one, okay, and you have to insert the actual CPU inside and lock it, and on it then there is a heat sink. RAM slots you have to insert it. Graphic card you have to insert it. And from SMPS, power supply is connected here. From SMPS, power supply, another 8-pin connectors comes here. Hard disk will connected to here. Okay, hard disk is connected to here. Front panel, power on connectors, USB front panel, USB connectors will connected to these places. Okay, so some are back panel connectors. Oh, this is HDMI. So in top view, I thought it is different. Okay, this is a HDMI port. Two parts of this. Now, this is it. HDMI. So backside connectors to connect your monitor, network, or any USB kind of stuff you want to connect it. Okay. So RAM motherboards having different parts. So this picture is older one. Also it is, see these white bars, the white bars are PCI slots. This is AGP. AGP means graphic card. Okay. So different slots. So slots are sockets for processor, memories means RAMs, expansion cards, PCI expansion card, like you can insert extra NIC card, Ethernet card, you can insert it, audio card or USB cards, you can insert on it. Okay, IO ports, input output ports for connecting like this. Okay, some chipsets on motherboard, when you see here also, there's a lot of chipsets also. See, North bridge, South bridge, CMOS chip, audio chip, graphical card, graphic memory related chips. Okay, and NIC and network adapters related chipsets also there, right? SATA hard disk connectors, IDR SATA hard disk connector, floppy disk connectors, CMOS batteries, power supply connector, heat sinks are there. Okay, front panel connectors, back panel connectors also there on the mark. So thus every component, either directly or indirectly, is connected to your motherboard. Either to the motherboard or on the motherboard, it is connected. For example, you take hard disk. Hard disk is connected to motherboard. Hard disk is connected to motherboard through a cable. You take a RAM. RAM is connected on the motherboard. CPU connected on the motherboard. Okay. Keyboard will connected to your motherboard from back panel like that. So everything is connected to your motherboard. These are the world style RAM slots. This is 20 pin ATX power supply connector. This is how RAM slots are inserted. These are the back panel connection. Okay. So nowadays these PS by 2s, earlier we have keyboard and mouse connectivity purpose. We use this personal system version 2 or a PS by 2 we are used. Later days they removed this PS by 2, they use only USBs because USBs are easy because PS by 2 before you power on your system you have to connect the keyboard and mouse. You cannot remove in middle and you can't connect it again. You can't do it. Okay, that type of keyboard mouse it is. But now USB is when system is running, we can remove the keyboard, you can insert the new keyboard, you can change it to another ports, we can do it. Lot of USB things are there. But again, the newer motherboards are coming with this extra PS by 2. So here you can connect either keyboard or mouse, means like it's a double way we can connect it. Okay, that is PS by 2. USB is, universal serial bus. Okay, you can connect almost all every device. Okay, your keyboard, mouse, your pen drives, external hard disk, modems, like so many things you can connect. VGA, it's a 15 pin connector. This is our 15 pin connector. VGA, visual graphic adapter or graphic adapter, yeah. Or video graphic adapter, visual graphic adapter also okay. To connect your monitor, LCDs, projectors, you can connect it to it. Serial port, 9-pin male connector. It is serial port. Serial is used to also called as RS232 COM port. Earlier days they used it to connect modems. Later also they are using to connect some different. These serial ports are almost remote, serial and parallel ports. Both are remote max to max systems. Okay, because of we got USB. USBs are much easy, faster data transmission purpose. Serial ports, parallel ports, most of not connecting nowadays, right? Next is LAN port. You know the LAN port because we already completed networking. Okay. So you know the LAN port RJ45 socket, right, for connecting to the network. This is from Walnuts I added. This is HDMI port. What is the purpose of this HDMI port is to connect to your monitors, TVs. You can also connect using HDMI port. What is the difference between VGA and HDMI? VGA also you can connect to the projectors, okay, or monitors you can connect it. TVs, some TVs you can connect it. Not very new TVs, little mid-range TVs you can connect because they are also having VGA port, like a monitor you can connect. HDMI also you can connect same thing. So what is the difference? Small difference is it's only video data transmission, monitor video transmission. HDMI both video as well as audio. Video and audio we can able to transmit. HD means high definition of data we can send it. VGA not like 4K kind of stuff we can't transmit it. Okay, definitely. But HDMI can able to transmit the data both video and audio. Okay, both we can transmit in a high definition form. And on your motherboards, when you see a new motherboard itself, so you have to find, yeah, see, this is, if you see there is some 4 LEDs in this corner. So there is a 4 LEDs are there. Okay, you cannot able to increase that size. Okay, these 4 LEDs, this small, after this big one, this you can see this 4 LEDs. Okay, directly it has to show, yeah, these 4 LEDs. Now, in a newer type of motherboards, they're introducing this 4 LEDs. Even I have that desktop now, so I have that 4 LEDs. What is this? For example, your RAM is got failed or RAM is not sitting properly. Okay, you power on your system, you got a blank screen. You don't understand what happened. Check this LED. DRAM LED is blinking. It means it's a RAM related issue. Maybe RAM is not working, RAM is not sitting properly, or dust on the RAM. CPU LED is blinking, means CPU got failure, or CPU not sitting properly. Somewhere there is CPU related issues are there. You have to open your cabin, remove the CPU and check the CPU with other system. Okay, like that. Or you have to change the CPU next time. VGA. VGA means I showed one processor, right? That is dedicated graphic card is required. Okay, that is dedicated graphic card is required means the processor does not have video memory. So video kind of process it won't do. So you must install the graphic card. I have my personal experience with it. Okay, I purchased one processor called i3 processor. It is i3 900F model. Okay, these F models do not have any of graphical memory inside. It has 6 MB cache memory C and 4.2 gigahertz. Very good processor, 4-core processor, 4-thread processor. Okay, 6 MB cache, but there is no graphical. So see RAM support, DDR support, about a 16 GB RAM is in it. Okay, virtualization support is there and it is 64-bit, but there is no graphical memory inside. I don't know initially, then I got little tension. So later I search and I find it. The F model do not have any internal graphical memory. So I purchase one graphic card and install. Okay. In case you got that VGA related problem, graphic card is not working. I need a graphic card. So then only we will get a display. So in that cases, this VGA is displaying. Boot. Bootable disk is not there. Means your hard disk is failed. Your OS is in your hard disk or SSD. It's not connected properly. Loose connected. Or hard disk is failed or SSD is failed. Boot LED is blink. So this is by LED indication, you can understand where is the issue. So based on that, you can do troubleshooting. You guys understand about your motherboard connections to the motherboards? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. Different back panels connections. What is their name? Like what is VGA? What is USB? What is PS by 2? Okay. HDMI, LAN ports. Next is SMPS. Switch mode, power supply. Switch mode, power supply. Guys, in our home, we all know, okay, but I'm telling, in our home, to our plug point, in our home, we got 220 to only promotion calls. 220 to 230 volts AC power supply will get it. AC to home, main is 220 to 230 volts. AC power supply. This is AC voltage. Means it is sine wave. The signal is sine wave. 50 hertz frequency. So 220 volts AC voltage, 50 hertz frequency. This is our main supply. But our computers, mobile phones, laptops, TVs, current TVs, right now TVs, all electronic equipment. Electronic equipment required DC power supply. Okay, for your laptop, for your mobile phone, all these things required DC power supply. DC is straight line. AC is sine wave. Okay, so we required DC power supply. This SMPS, converts this AC to DC. It converts this AC to DC power supply. Okay, AC to DC power supply. For example, your charger. What is that charger? So SMPS charger, what it is? It will convert this 220 volts AC supply to 5 volts DC supply. Your laptop charger, it converts AC supply to 19 volts DC supply. Check in your charger, that on a laptop charger. So check it, how much is DC output, AC input, DC output. Check the details, you will understand how much it is. For some people it is 19, generally it is 19. For some people it is a little bit higher or lower still. Okay, so this is a SMPS. SMPS means switch mode power supply, which converts AC power supply to DC power supply. For our desktops, generally we use different DC power supplies are required. Of course, that's why we are using SMPS. Okay, so we need 12 volts, plus 12 volts, minus 12 volts, plus 5 volts, plus 3.3 volts. Things in this required. Okay, so it is SMPS, switch mode power supply. It converts AC to DC. You know, earlier we used 80 type, now we are using 80X. 80 type of SMPS power connector means that this type of connector is 80 type is 6 plus 6 pin connector is there earlier. Now 80X is advanced technology extended 20 pin connector is there. A 20 pin connector. This is a 20 pin connector. This is a 80X 20 pin connector. But nowadays 24 pin connector. What we are using is 24 pin connectors. This is 24 pin connector. Okay. And plus this 8 are a 4, 8, 6 pin connector, separate 6 pin connector. CPU power 1 is there now. So that is separately 6 pin connector is there. Some motherboards require only 4 pin CPU connector. You know, even olden motherboards having a separate CPU connector is there. This is not having, but little look. Then it is 6 pin, then 8 pin came. This is for CPU separate connector. Power supply from SMPS to here, like this, 4 plus 4. This is 24 pin connector. Next, from SMPS to hard disk. This is for hard disk and CD-ROM purpose. This is also older hard disk. This is for older hard disk. This is a SATA newer hard disk. It is. Floppy purpose, floppy anyway we are not using. Okay. So 24 pin connected means that is for motherboard directly, for motherboard connected components purpose. Plus additionally CPU purpose, separate 8 pin connector is also coming from SMPS. And SMPS to your CD-ROM DVD writers. Okay, you're getting power supply using this SATA cables. Okay, so this is the issue part again. So guys, understand what is the SMPS, what is the use of SMPS, and what voltages we are getting from SMPS.
Yes, sir.
Each component in your system, like your processor, RAM, your on motherboard chips, your graphic cards. So everything is getting a power supply from SMPS now. Okay, your SSDs, your hard disk, so mainly SSD, this type of NVMe SSDs, keyboards, pen drives. We are not providing separate power supply. Monitoring, monitor, we are providing some separate power supply, right? So a hard disk, again from SMPS, separate power supply. One. Now, thing is, each device is consuming some wattage. For example, you take processor, it consumes some wattage, no? 65 watts. RAM, it consumes like some around 30 watts, things like this. Just for an example. Okay, some graphic card is there. It is consuming some 100 watts. Okay, so like that, each component is consuming certain power. Okay, so if you add just with some general idea, if you are adding all the components and how much it is power supply requirement, you found the value is, for example, 300. 300 total consumption is right now it is 300 as per current components. So what you have done, you've taken 300 VA or 300 watts SMPS and you install into your desktop machine and you power up. Running, okay, good. And you inserted a pen drive. Pen drive needs somewhat at least 1 or 2 watts extra. Maybe you inserted external hard disk, it require at least 10 watts. Okay. So you inserted some keyboard and mouse or Bluetooth headphones, speakers. Right? What happening it is, it required more than that one. So see, system not understand this. System not getting enough power supply from SMPS. What system will do? It restart itself. It restart itself. Meaning is system thing, this certain component is consuming more than it is required. If it is restart, that time it may be adjust. So it will restart itself again. Means system is restarting itself again and again. Two reasons are there. One is CPU is getting overheated. Another one is SMPS not providing enough power supply. You've taken lesser than required SMPS. Okay. So guys, always take little extra, little bigger than the requirement. Like you want a 300, take 350 or 400 or 450, no problem. So your total consumption is 400, take 600, no problem. Okay, not in a edge mode because you may add new things to it. So it required more consumption. That time it is, you will get a problem. Okay, always take little extra, not required. Like a, for example, yours is 400 requirement, but you put a 1 kV, 1 kilowatts, not required. Your requirement is 400, put a 600 or 550 or 650 or 500 also no problem. Okay, not required very huge, like 1 kV, 2 kV is not required. Even I have done like that only. I put a 650. My what is totally maybe it is not even a 300. So I purchase. I don't want to take any chance in future. So I purchase one time only. Okay. So if you don't provide enough power supply to system may restart again and again. If assembly is not providing enough power supply to system may restart again. Okay. Okay. This is where we will stop. Okay. So we completed all components except the storages. Tomorrow we're going to see different storages and also hard disk and SSD difference is compulsory. And 1 or 2 questions are there in it. Also we'll see. And this hard disk and SSD differences and RAM and hard disk differences, how to tell that answer. Okay. And boot processing, very important guys. That is compulsory question. What is the boot processing? Okay, and how to understand this boot processing, troubleshooting at boot time, troubleshooting at a boot time. So these things we will going to discuss tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, people are going.
Sir, class timing, sir, tomorrow.
Yeah, a class completed. Yeah. Okay.
Class timing.